Okay, I think we are live and streaming now for the 2020 Owasso Market Sewer Improvements Project. This is the pre-bid conference, and it is a non-mandatory pre-bid. We have some interesting features to kind of talk about before we start into this. There is going to be an option to chat that will allow you to ask questions you want on the chat. So we'll try to address those questions as any of them come up and appear. We also have the option, so if you have a pen handy to write down a phone number, there's an option to call in at 918-382-3798. I think that we posted that on the chat just now. So you can call that number in for questions at the end. Let's please hold off questions until the end. I think the chat is running at any point. You can probably send in a question at any point in time you want to on the chat, but please don't call in on the phone number until we get to the question and answer section. Let's go ahead and get started. The introductions here. I'm Daniel Deering. I'm the engineer of record on the project. To my right is Dwayne Henderson. He's our city engineer, head of engineering and public works for Owasso, and we have Darby Hickman here, who is our contract administrator, and all questions funnel through her on the process of bidding. Who is not here with us today is Ron Easterling, who helped design the project and is very knowledgeable, and so he may be crucial to answer some questions at other times and may be involved in the project at later dates. The bidding process, there are free digital bid documents that are available. You can contact Darby, and we'll post the agenda you'll have for contact information, but her email address is dhickman@cityofowasso.com. Again, that'll be posted on here. Also, the Public Works phone number, you can contact her there at 918-272-4959. That's a little different than we've done in the past, but you can get the digital documents for free. You can also, if you want to, I don't know why you'd want to, but you can come up here to City Hall and purchase a set for $25, but you can get the same thing for free just by calling in, getting your name registered on the plan holders list, and she can email you everything that you need. Also, what we're doing differently is that instead of submitting the whole book as our bid submission, all we are requiring is the section 0200 in the contract documents and all the subsections of 0200. So you'll need to print those that you get from Darby, fill them out, sign them, and submit them. And those sections, I'll go over them part by part, so that way everybody's aware of what we're talking about. Section 0200 is the bid itself. There will be a bid form that will be emailed out as it's Excel spreadsheet we have prepared. All you have to do is plug in your numbers, your price numbers. It'll automatically populate the extensions and the totals, and you'll print that and submit that in with your bid forms that are given to you, provided with PDFs for the digital documents. Section 0210 is the proposal guarantee, an amount of 5%, which is either bid bond or a certified cashier's check. Those will be returned except for the two lowest bidders after we open the bids. Section 0220, which is the bid affidavits, and Section 230, which is a statement of qualifications, and Section 240, which is a certificate of non-discrimination. So all those sections are required as part of the bid packet. That's it. We don't require the full document, the full bound book, which is what we used to do in the past. It's just those subsections of the bid section. The only other thing would be to acknowledge any addendums that would be posted. That would be done on the first page of the bid section 00200. If you're interested in just reviewing the documents, there are viewing documents that have watermarks that are available online at cityofowasso.com. That link will be provided as well, but you can search under bid opportunities and you'll be able to find those things and look at them and view them. If you're a supplier or if you're interested in to see if it's a project you want to bid, you can look at those. Also, you can come and see them in person here at City Hall at the front desk. They'll be available there as well to be viewed in hard copy form. So we will need to submit the bids to the City Hall here at attention to Owasso Public Works Authority. That is the authority that this project is funded through. So it'll be attention to Owasso Public Works Authority, to Owasso City Hall here at 200 South Main, Owasso, Oklahoma 74055. And that bid opening will occur June 18th, 2020 at 2 p.m. We will live stream that bid opening as well through the same channel. So you'll be able to watch remotely. Just make sure you get your bids here submitted on time. And we will not have, at this time, we will not have people in person, but you will be able to watch and view that on the same link that you guys have got access to this one. Schedule for the bidding process, the last day for questions is June 12th, which is tomorrow. That's the end of business, which is 11:30 a.m. tomorrow. So any questions that we received after tomorrow will not be answered as far as in relation to the project itself. If there's a question relating to the bid opening, we'll answer accordingly. But anyway, we need to have a deadline by the end of business tomorrow for all the questions that need to be submitted, so that we can start to prepare any need for clarification or an addendum. And so if there is an addendum that's needed, we will issue that on Tuesday by the end of business, June 16th. And that'll be 5:30 p.m. is the end of business on Tuesday. So again, bid opening is going to be live streamed on June 18th, 2020 at 2 p.m. Construction time for this project, the substantial completion will be 180 calendar days, 180 calendar days. Final completion will be 210 calendar days. As far as the bids go, we need to make sure all bids are signed in the appropriate locations. Make sure you designate the type of, make sure you sign in the designated area for the type of company formation that you are bidding from. No conditional bids will be allowed, and that means no alterations or deletions or additions of the bid form itself. That should be easy to fill out the form. Make sure every section has a price before you hit print and submit it. The bid section is only required section to be submitted, so you can submit the whole book, but it's not required. And this project is a sales tax exempt project. Okay, we talked about construction schedule, 180 days, 210 for substantial and final completion, but time extensions may be granted based on the delays that are considered beyond the contractor's control. Bonds and insurance that are required, we do have a performance bond in the amount of 100% of the contract, statutory payment bond in 100% amount of the contract, a maintenance bond, 100% amount of the bid for a 2-year period after final acceptance of the project. And then in the insurance requirements, you'll need to see the special provisions in the contract document. Again, it'll be available in the PDFs that are emailed and sent out too. We do anticipate award for this project on July 7th, 2020, depending on the bid results and the reference checks. So that's what our project is for, anticipating the awarding. As far as projects go, there are test holes that are provided in the specifications that were taken, some logs, boring logs, and those are identified in the plans, and they'll be they're probably going to be a separate PDF in the PDF documents, but they are bound in the book if you buy an hard copy book. They're available to review. And afterwards, site visits, anybody wants to do that, that's on your own. But at this point, I'm going to talk about the project itself and the plans. Currently, we have an existing 8-inch sewer line, sanitary sewer line that is exceeding capacity. What we will be doing is installing a new 12-inch sewer line, and at one point we are going to take a different alignment Then the existing sewer line, we're gonna leave that portion of the 8-inch, in place and active and allow it to be used for future use. And the new 12-inch will actually be the replacement for the capacity concerns that we have. It's the sewer, most of the sewer, existing and proposed is gonna be in a vacant field. And, so the 8-inch line will be utilized for future development. The existing 8-inch line, once we take the flows off of it, it will be utilized for future development around it. The location of this project is around 96th and Garnett. It starts, on the upper end of our regional detention pond facility, which is close to, Christian Brothers Automotive on Garnett, south of 96th Street. It will proceed from the south side of the creek channel there, that's on the south side of Christian Brothers. It will cross Garnett. At that point, we will then change alignments from the existing 8-inch line, and we will head north, paralleling Garnett. Just inside the private property fence line, we have acquired a brand new utility easement that should have nothing in the way as far as utilities. And in all of our research and everything that we found, there's nothing there in this alignment. And the new 12-inch line will follow Garnett up to 96th Street, turn, and then head east on the south side of 96th Street, again, continuing in a new utility easement. And we will then come back towards where the 8-inch follows the creek and the pond across this vacant property back up to 96th Street. And once we get back to about the same location on the south side of 96th Street, we will cut it off, the flows that are coming to that, put a new terminal manhole on the 8-inch line, and that will no longer have flows on it at that point. And then we will intercept the flows coming into the 8-inch line and into the new 12. We will also extend the 12 across 96th Street and run that across in front of there's a Tulsa Teachers Credit Union there, and then in front of a dry detention pond that is on the north side of 96th Street. And we will head back over there towards a sanitary sewer line that crosses 96th Street, intercept it there, catch some more flows coming off of that line. So there'll be some crossings that will be abandoned underneath 96th Street that have been problematic as a part of this project as well. But the majority of this line is going to be 12-inch extension, and there'll be some 8-inch line connections to kind of connect back into some areas where we are picking up the existing lines. So right now we have estimated just a little bit over 2,900 feet of 12-inch SDR 26 PVC pipe. And then we have 275 8-inch SDR 26 PVC sewer pipe that we'll be installing as well. We do have on this project some proposed bores and casing of some crossings. We have 2 roadway crossings at Garnett and 96th Street. So be aware of that when you get a chance to look at the plans. We also have creek crossings that are Corps regulated, U.S. Army Corps of Engineers regulated, and we will be boring those. We will look and consider that if the contractor can get permission from the Corps of Engineers to open cut that and get documentation for that, then we'll look at that at a different. That's why we broke up the casing and the bores as separate pricing. If you can get it to open cut, then more power to you, and we can move faster and do that. But that would require Corps of Engineers coordination. Trying to think anything else on that page. We'll just have to be aware of the other existing utilities when we get up to the roads, Garnett and 96th Street. Obviously, there's utilities running parallel with those streets, so we'll have to make sure those are identified, marked, and some of them will have a pothole before we start our excavation around it to make sure we know exactly where they are. We got rough ideas from the utility companies on some of them, so we need to make sure that we're aware of where those are before we start working around them. Trying to see anything else. And looking at the plans, again, most of the excavation is going to be just inside the property line, and those fences in a 17.5-foot utility easement, and the easement is pretty open and clear. There's a couple of access points that we've identified on the plans. It should be pretty easy moving around in that private property. We don't want you guys getting crazy and getting off into that. That is a prime development corner, and we expect that after we install some sewer here too, that this will probably encourage development even sooner. But we do need to make sure we take precautions, stay within the easement. Anything that's tore up beyond what we expect, we do expect the contractor to repair it at their own cost. Trying to think of anything else. We've got to be mindful of crossing a driveway when we get north of 96th Street. That driveway at TTCU, it's got to maintain access. We don't need to be blocking access through and in there. There's a hotel behind there as well, so we need to make sure we maintain access to those points of businesses. I think that's going to be, for the most part, all I want to talk about on the plans. There is a location that we have. If the contractor has a lengthy spoils deposit location or haul, we do have a spoils site that we can haul and drop off excess soil materials. No sewer or anything like that. But we do have a site that you can take excess soil that is located on Mingo between 106th and 116th Street. So that would be about 2.5 miles away from the project site. So that is available for use. We would prefer that the contractor let us know in advance that that's going to be happening so we can plan accordingly. But that site is available if that is something that the contractor would like to use and utilize for the benefit of them and us. At this point in time, the rock, okay. There is rock out there. For the most part, if I remember right, it was sandstone, hard sandstone. You know, we, like I said, look at the soil boring logs of where we are. We bored different locations along the alignment. Got into silty sand, sandstone, brown olive, brown, some of it's 5 foot deep. Different levels of depths here. Lean clay, clay sand, lean clay sandstone. So you're going to encounter some rock as you're digging through some of this, so make sure you guys take that into account when you're bidding. We are not guaranteeing anything. It's going to be all excavation is included in the cost of the pipe. So, you know, we've given as much information as we know. That, I guess, if you wanted to do some more exploration, you could with some permission. But anyway, just bid it accordingly. Make sure you cover yourself, protect yourself based on what evidence we have here. Anything else to think about that we need to talk about? We need to be mindful. We're in a very visible corridor, high commercial traffic. So make sure we're not cutting any businesses off. Make sure we're staying clean and tight. At this point in time, we'll open it for questions. If you have a question, I don't know if we have anything from the chats. No questions on the chat. So if you guys have a question, we'll give you maybe a minute to call in or chat, but we'll call the meeting in about 3:21 if we have nothing coming in. And this is, I know I mentioned it is Owasso Public Works Authority. It is that is a city authority, and that is funded through the city. It is not funded through, any other agency. So the money is available there. It's not, any kind of private party or anything, partnership or anything like that. I think anything else while we're buying time to give you guys a chance to say anything. Sales tax. Yeah, sales tax is exempt. I think I said that. We will post, the agenda online, share it. Any questions that we get emailed in, we'll post clarifications and answers to that as well for everybody that's to know and share. I think at this time, we're gonna call it good.